everyone, and welcome to episode 30 of Trapped in My Mind. I'm your host, Seth, and today with me, got an old friend, Darian.
Hi.
What's so funny?
Just nervous.
Put you on the spot. Hey,
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Like, oh God, you have to introduce me.
Introductions are always like the most awkward thing because it's like, who am I to be given an introduction? And then I also don't know how to like do it because the first like probably 15 episodes, I always said, it's my good friend. I'm super excited. And I'm like, okay, well, I can't say I'm super excited because it makes it sound less genuine. So
Yeah.
here I am trying to think of a new way to introduce it. And that one was a fail. But
It's fine.
we're here.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you came out. I know we've kind of been working on getting you out for a little while here. I'm glad you ultimately decided. You said your boyfriend said you should go for it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. He always pushes me out of my comfort zone.
Well, hopefully it's not
Yeah.
too bad. We got some interesting topics here. Some that are kind of top of hot topics right now, I should say, based on the current climate. So I'm interested to hear your perspective just because I know that I have a perspective and oftentimes it's very misinformed. And so I just like to see what your perspective is. So the first one, because yesterday, I don't know when people will be hearing this because it's probably going to be a couple weeks, but yesterday, I don't know if you saw, the CDC lifted the mask mandate.
Yes.
Which is wild.
Yeah.
So I guess my first talking point to that is, do you think that anyone's actually going to stop wearing a mask?
This whole thing has just been so political that, like, I just think that, like, throws a wrench into things because, like, they're saying that if you're vaccinated, you don't need to wear one, and then people are like, well, if I don't wear one, I'm going to look like an anti-vaxxer or something. Yeah. And, yeah, I just feel like people will slowly start to stop wearing them, but I think, like, tomorrow, because, like, they just lifted it for Michigan starting tomorrow if you're vaccinated, I think a lot of people are going to be, like, scared to stop wearing them.
I would agree because so I saw it. It was actually, I'm sure it was probably just a joke, but it was on Twitter. It was like, if I go out without a mask, people are gonna think I'm Republican, as if that's like so bad, right?
I wasn't going to say that, but yeah.
No, I mean I'll say it because I don't affiliate with either.
Same.
I have my opinions and they are what they are. But it was a funny joke, but it's also not much of a joke because it's not so much like for me, like I don't want to be seen as Republicans. I don't want to be seen as like the perception of Republican of like racist, anti-vaxxer, doesn't give a shit about others, even though that's not all Republicans, and I know that. But it's like if I went out now and without a mask, I feel like people would look at me like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, I think that's like going to be a driving force for a lot of people, and just like scared. Like, you're vaccinated, but like still scared of like getting it, or still scared of giving it to someone that isn't vaccinated or like can't be vaccinated right now, since like it's like kids under 12 or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Like, right, I think they just like allowed like kids 12 to 15 or something, and that's just for the Pfizer one, but or they might have not even like let it yet, but I feel like that's going to keep a lot of people.
Well, how do they even like, that's the thing, like how do you like, my gym just basically said, well, they didn't basically, they said you don't have to wear a mask anymore if you're vaccinated, following CDC protocol, whatever. But when I'm working out, who's going to know if I've been vaccinated or not? Like, I have been, so I plan on not wearing a mask at the gym because I can breathe easier.
Yeah.
But how am I supposed to, like, I'm not going to carry my card on me that says I was vaccinated.
I know. I did take a picture of mine yesterday just because I was like, if I get carded or something, like vaccinated carded or whatever. But
that's wild.
Yeah, I think like the whole concept, because like technically I don't think you can really like ask someone like their medical like records or history, like wouldn't that fall into that? So it's going to be a really weird time for a while, and I think like slowly people will just get used to it and like they'll start to come off, but I think that like a lot of people are going to be like apprehensive about it for a while. Yeah.
Which is weird because if it's said it's okay by the experts, there shouldn't be apprehension to it, but I have a feeling like I'll probably go get dinner after this because I am so hungry. And I have a feeling if I walk into a restaurant without a mask, they'll straight up be like, you gotta have a mask.
Yeah, well, and like I think with that too, like a lot of companies, because like they're privately owned, like they're gonna say, yeah, the CDC and like Michigan said that, but we're comfortable like this. So like I think it's gonna be like tough to like, I don't know.
Do you think there'll be more turmoil because of that than there was when it was like everyone has to wear a mask?
Yeah, because I think that like people are going to like not believe people. And like I just think it's gonna like cause a lot of chaos. Like I just feel like there's already been like a lot of chaos like the past like year and a half, and I think that like, I don't know, like I just think that it could cause conflict or like cause more, like just like when people like we started wearing masks and like people didn't want to wear them and they like would go into stores and it would be up to like the employees to go up to them and be like, you need to wear a mask, and then they're getting spit on and things like that.
Still happens.
Like yeah. But I think that, like, probably a year later it's calmed down a little bit, but I feel like now with this new big change, like, it's almost just going to rile more people up, like, again.
Yeah, I think I would agree with that. Because, for example, if let's say I'm one of, like, those people, right? I go to a restaurant today without a mask. They say, we'd like you to wear one. And then I go, well, CDC and Michigan says I don't have to wear one. So, but it's funny because I bet you if somebody's going to do that, they were the same type of people who weren't listening to the CDC when they said to wear a mask, so now they're going to take the CDC's word and use it against other people.
Oh, yeah. And it's probably the people that aren't even vaccinated that are going to do that.
Yeah, that's true. So, I guess, like, I feel like I'll continue bringing my mask. I'll try it tonight. I'm going to try walking into a place.
It starts tomorrow.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, it starts Saturday. So maybe don't do it
okay,
tonight.
Then I won't try it tonight. Wait, I didn't know. I thought it started yesterday.
Well, so the CDC said it yesterday, and then like Michigan still has a mask mandate.
Oh.
And then Michigan announced today that starting tomorrow you can.
Oh. Okay.
And then they said starting like July 1st, like non-vaccinated people can. So just like shit is hitting the fan.
Oh. I didn't hear any of that.
Yeah.
I was locked in today at work.
Oh,
so.
I like from work I like hear a lot of it because we own restaurants. So like everyone like it hit at like noon today, and we're just like, tomorrow's Saturday, and we have to, like, figure out what we're doing for, like, 20-plus restaurants. Yeah, so it was fun. Good times.
Well, then I won't do that today.
Yeah, maybe wait.
But maybe I'll do it tomorrow. And just, point being, I'll probably bring my mask, but, like, have it in there, and like they say, put it on. I'm not the type of person who's going to be like, fuck you, I'm not wearing it.
Yeah.
I'll be like, okay.
I think just, like, comfort-wise, like, I'll probably... And, I mean, I, like, have felt pretty lax about this from... Like, I've always, like, followed the guidelines. But I think just, like, for a little while, I'll continue wearing it just to, like, see how, like, things go. And then, like, I golf every Monday, and, like, I have to walk into, like, the clubhouse. So, like... There's no one in there. I probably won't wear my mask. But if I'm, like, going into, like, Meijer, I'll probably wear my mask.
So why?
Just, like the amount of people. I don't know. Like, just, like, way busier and, like, bigger scale. Like, I don't know. Just, like, I think, honestly, more so just, like, I don't want, like, the looks and stuff.
Okay.
Like, I can just, like, be a fly on the wall with my little mask on.
So would you feel... So it's not, like, a personal thing. Like, you feel safe going in there without a mask. It's more so, like...
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I'm vaccinated, so, like, but I just don't want, like, someone to, like, walk up to me and be like, are you vaccinated? Like, I don't know. I just, like, because then I'm not wearing a mask and someone's in my face.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
I don't think anyone will say anything, but I definitely think we'd get looks.
Yeah.
I guarantee it.
But, like, who knows if even, like, Meijer will let people? Because, like... everything is so, like, short-staffed right now, so, like, how are, like, unless it's just by the honor system, which is bonkers.
Yeah.
Like, is like, Meijer gonna have someone at the, like, the greeter at the door being like, let me see your vaccination card? Like, I don't know, it's just, like, making this whole, like, dystopian universe.
It is really weird.
Yeah.
I think there's just no, like, there's a lot of gray area, I'll say. But, shit, what were you saying? It made me think of something. That's the worst when I'm on a fucking podcast and I can't think of something.
Sorry.
No. You said it. That triggered it, and now I'm forgetting it, so it's on me. You're saying you walk into a store, right? Okay.
Short-staffed?
No, it was just before that. Damn.
Oh, that like Meyer might not even let you?
Oh, yeah. So that's not it, but it triggered that. So, see, I don't know that lots of companies will... I think lots of companies will be like, all right, yeah, take off your mask. Because, like, for example, there was lots of different... I think it's more so, like, not the franchises, because they have a lot of eyes on them, but, like, the independently, like, small business owners... I could be wrong, but from what I observed, I feel like a lot of the small business owners wanted to stay open even when restaurants couldn't, and they want, because that's how they make their money. And I feel like they want to have full capacity and they want to do these things. So I feel like lots of places, in my opinion, that aren't franchise owned probably won't care about a mask too much. I could be very wrong about that, but that's just I could see them not really giving two shits if you wear a mask or not starting Saturday.
No, I agree, but I think like there are a handful. I mean, like for example, when they announced it earlier, I was like just scrolling through Instagram and I saw that like a brewery, which it was actually Ferndale Project, they were like, yeah, for the safety of our employees, like they announced this on a Friday afternoon, like just before a weekend, like we're keeping things how they are for now, like wear your mask, like until we can like figure this out a little more, which like I think like is super like respectful, like as like a response, like makes me respect them more because I'm like, you value your like employees like so much that like you're like, okay, until we can like figure this out in like a not rushed manner, and like because it was just kind of like, here you go, like hand it to them like before like the start of a busy weekend. Like I don't know, I can see like some businesses taking that like road, whereas others are just like whatever, like we just want things back to normal.
Yeah, no, I mean that's a good point. I haven't really thought about it, like, so I didn't know that, so it's good to know because I like the Ferndale Project and I'll still go there if I have to wear a mask, whatever. But I didn't think about it that way of like they're thinking of their employees. So I mean, for me, I still feel like whether you make it like, yeah, we're gonna continue with masks, we're not. For me, I don't think it's like a shitty thing either way. But I mean that's. I guess if they asked their employees who's comfortable without a mask and like there's even one person that said no, not yet, then I think it's very nice and respectful for them to wait. Yeah. But if like no one said like no, don't wait, then I guess it doesn't matter either way. Good perspective. Didn't think about it that way. But so you said something that will actually trigger the next thing. You said Meyer and places like that are like running low on employees. And honestly, so I just got my wisdom teeth removed. Haven't been eating shit for a while. Yesterday I felt like I could maybe chew some chicken nuggets. So I'm not a big fast food guy, but we tried going to Wendy's yesterday. Like we're in line. It's like a decent sized line, but we're in line. It's like 15 minutes. Haven't gone anywhere. Like what the fuck? The manager comes out. He's like, we just took our last order. We only have like one person working. We have no one working. And so like I saw the memes and stuff of like there's no one working, but I didn't know how like if that was actually the case. And my Wendy's had no one working there because there's no one that wants to go back. And I guess I just think that's wild.
Yeah. Coincidentally, Lucas and I went to like Wendy's like 2 weekends ago. Okay. And we were like going to a bonfire and we like didn't eat dinner, so we're like, oh, let's just like pull in, get some like fast food real fast, whatever. And we pull in and it's closed at like 7:00 on a Saturday. Yeah. And so we had to get Burger King. There's no good like places by our house, and I had like one fry and I was like, I can't do it, and didn't eat dinner.
Burger King is a whole separate topic, but
This is now a Burger King podcast.
It's more like a hate Burger King podcast. I don't know a single person in their right mind who like would ever choose Burger King like as like their choice.
Yeah, no, it wasn't even like my like fifth choice, but it was all that there was. Yeah.
That's it's weird that they had their employees.
Exactly. Yeah.
But so why? I know why I think, but before I share my thoughts, why do you think that there's no one that wants to go back to work?
I think like a lot of like places that are like minimum wage places are like dealing and like facing with the same predicament. And that, like, is, like, the grocery stores and, like, all these places that are going to, like, pay you minimum wage, like, those, like, first starter jobs or whatever. And this might not, like, I don't know, this might not sound good, but I think it's because, like, the government is, like, helping unemployment so much. Like, right now, you don't have to, like, prove that you're looking for work, and then, or I believe so, and then, they are, like, giving you extra money for, like, every, like, paycheck. So, like, I feel like some of these people are, like, probably making more money on unemployment than, like, working at Wendy's, and they don't have to work, or, like, even if they're making less, they don't have to work, and they're, like, getting by. So that's my, like, thought on it, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, we could all be wrong, but that's my thought too. I mean, for example, and I won't give any names, but some people I know they held multiple jobs, right? Mm-hmm. When COVID hit, mm-hmm. they were still working one of the jobs, mm-hmm. not working the other ones, and still qualified for unemployment. Mm-hmm. And they were making just bank.
Oh yeah, there was lots of like loophole. Like I like know people who like because of COVID, work was like cut down to 4 days, so they like had a full-time job, but they were working like Monday through Thursday now instead of like Monday through Friday. So that like qualified them for unemployment. So they were like making like basically like majority of their salary, like mm-hmm. take like 8 hours a week out of your pay, plus like unemployment. Like so they were getting like the like I think it was like $600 a week at that point. So like just like raking it in, but they qualified for it. Like they were like they like legally were allowed to file and like get that, but like
which is wild.
Yeah,
I worked full time mm-hmm. throughout the entire pandemic. Mm-hmm. I'm fortunate that I could.
Yeah.
But I used to have a serving job mm-hmm. and I lost that. Mm-hmm. So I could have literally had my full salary, the entire thing.
Wow.
And unemployment. I didn't do it because I'm like personal choice, I didn't feel right doing it. Yeah. But that's the fact that I could even qualify for that mm-hmm. and then just get passive income that I don't have to pay back is
with
insane.
With that like additional money, it was like a lot because like
it was a lot.
So my work, like I work for a restaurant group. Like we own a bunch of restaurants. Like I don't like work in the restaurants. I'm a graphic designer, but I was laid off because restaurants shut mm-hmm. down. Like, they just, like, they kept on, like, our marketing director. They kept on, like, our creative director. And, like, a few, like, they basically, like, one person from each department just to, like, if we need, like, signage made for, like, all of the COVID stuff. Mm. Like, it was, like, really, like, down to, like, basically nothing. So I was laid off for, like, probably, like, April to August, and then I, like, or, not August, probably, like, April till July, and not even that, I went back part-time, whatever, doesn't matter, but I was, like, making more money on unemployment than, like, my salary.
Yeah, I think a lot of people were.
Yeah.
Especially the people who had, like, the food job, like, the mm-hmm. food industry or, like, greeting at these, mm-hmm. like, stores, they were making, like, double what they made, mm-hmm. Not working and on unemployment.
Yeah.
So why would you want to go back?
Yeah, and I mean, like, I think, like, for me, like, obviously, like, just morally, and, like, I can't just sit and do nothing. Like, yeah. I literally, they laid me off, and I was like, if you, like, need help, I will help you for free. Like, I was like, I just can't, like, do nothing. Yeah, but that, a lot of people can, which I don't understand. Yeah.
Like, I can do nothing for a weekend, maybe, mm-hmm. and just watch TV. But after that, even that is like, mm-hmm. Okay, I'm getting pretty bored here.
Yeah, during, like, when everything was, like, shut down, like, I literally ran through, like, every hobby in, like, the book. Like, I was like, what can I do to occupy my mind?
Well, we might have to loop back around to the hobbies because I'm curious. But, I mean, that kind of brings up another point, though, of, like, and I might be in the minority for this opinion, but we can go down this road. So specifically with like the food mm-hmm. industry and like these I would say entry level type positions, mm-hmm. right? In my opinion,
yeah,
you can make a career out of it if you want.
Mm-hmm.
People don't want to go back because they're making more money on unemployment. That's mm-hmm. the way I see it. But when they do come back, so basically on like social media and like in the news, I see lots of complaints of you need to pay these people more, like mm-hmm. to these restaurants, and that gets me conflicted because I don't know, in my opinion, if I think those jobs warrant such significant pay, mm-hmm. let alone like the things that would happen if you did raise those jobs mm-hmm. pay. But like not even thinking about that, the job itself doesn't, in my opinion, warrant that. So I guess what I'm trying to say is let's talk minimum wage.
Okay.
What's your thoughts on minimum wage?
Okay, this sounds really bad, but, like, what is minimum wage right now?
I don't know.
Like,
I think
that
it's like,
sounds, like, very, like, I'm going to Google it. I'm sorry
for
having
it.
my phone.
I don't have mine, so, because it's right there. So, good. I'll make a guess. I think it's probably, I feel like last time I knew it was, like, $8.40.
Okay. It's higher than that.
Less than 10?
Yes. It's high. Yeah, it's not, it's $9.87.
Oh, okay. I did not know that.
Yeah, so I thought it was more than that, to be honest.
See, when I was making minimum wage, it was $7.40.
Oh, yeah, same. My, like, first job, I think it was, like, yeah, around that. Like, I would, like, work my ass off at Dunham's.
Yeah,
and
Pizza.
my freaking paycheck would be, like, $100.
Yeah, dude, if I hit over 200, I'm like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, and then I started working at a dealership. I'm like, oh, I'm making $140 now a week.
That's right. I worked at a dealership after.
Yeah.
So, okay, but did you, like, I was a kid, but I never felt like it was, like, wrong. Like,
right.
Obviously you wanted more, but,
yeah,
like.
but I think that motivates you and pushes you to, like, further, like, your career better, like, further your education or, like, push, I don't know.
Try something
that's
more.
Like, I was like, screw Dunham's, I'm making no money. Let me, like, go see if I can find something that'll get me a little more. And then I was like, oh, let me go see if I can find something to get me a little more.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, you just, like, work your way up and, like, till you're at a point where, like, either you're, like, comfortable or, like, whatever.
Yeah. That's weird. I would say that's my opinion, too, is, like, I don't think minimum wage should... I think what I've been seeing is, like, $15 an hour, which, to me, is...
But if that gets, like, raised, I feel like everything will get raised because then, like, McDonald's is going to have to start charging more for their chicken nuggets and, stuff like that. So, like, just feel like the cost of living then goes up and then we're back to square one, right?
Yeah, I think... Yeah, well, I would say that's inflation. I would agree. I think what the main, like, concern is with, like, those, like, fast food industries is... these industries should cut down on their margins because they make so much money anyway.
Yeah.
They can afford to pay more and not charge customers more is what I think the complaint is.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, fine. But like you said, I don't believe that these jobs are jobs that you should seek long careers in.
Yeah.
And obviously they're not paid to do that. I think they're more so you're in high school, you're in college, or maybe as a side job.
Yeah. And I mean, like, McDonald's is always going to need a manager and a general manager.
And they make more money.
People, yeah. And, like, so those people are, like, going to be people who are, like, making more so of a career out of it. But I think, like, a line cook and, like, the cash, like, that type of stuff, yeah, I think that it should, in my opinion, be, like, the college students or the high school students and, like, and then you work your way up.
Yeah, because those jobs have value. They teach you responsibility and they teach you, like, teamwork and getting shit done and being under pressure. And I'm trying to check my privilege here because I get that sometimes it's not easy to get other jobs. I get that.
I mean, a lot in the world, like, needs to change. And I think it's a big ripple effect because, like, excuse me, beer is talking.
ASMR.
But what was I? Sorry.
No, you're saying needs to be a lot of change in the world.
Yeah,
it's a ripple effect.
It's like a ripple effect. Yeah, because like, it should be easier to get an education, like, furthering education.
Yes.
Like, it coming from a place, like, where you don't have, like, the luxury of, like, a college fund or, like, anything like that, which, I mean, like, that's why, like, FAFSA and stuff is in place, but still, like, it's not as easy. Like, to some people, it's just not as easy. Like, they don't know that these resources are available. So I think, like, just, like, making things more accessible could, like, help a lot because, like, then people might, like, further their education to then, like, be able to, like, move up in the, like, career ladder or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think that it's not just, like, raising minimum wage is going to solve these issues.
No, I agree. I think it starts with education and making it more attainable and affordable. And just educating people on how to get an education past high school because lots of people don't even know. But
well, and, like, a lot of these, like, careers and jobs that are, like, above entry level, even some entry level are like, oh, you need 8 years experience, or like, oh, you need this college degree. And like, I don't know, I look at like people like my mom who like didn't go to college, but she like is so smart and like has like so much experience in her like field. But like if she wanted to like get a new job, they might like brush her off because she doesn't have that college degree. But like she's probably so much more valuable than like someone with the like.
Yeah.
And like, so I think just like factoring that in as well, that like you don't need to like go to college to like get a good job.
Yeah, well, yeah, I would agree with that too. And honestly, that's one thing that annoys me about just like the society right now is that they look at what you've already done and not like what like you could do, or like your intangibles, like different things that, like, for example, I don't think my degree on a paper really to me doesn't mean shit. Like, yeah, I went to college and I graduated with a bachelor's. I don't give a shit about that at all. I learned some things there, definitely, but it's more so about like, if I'm motivated to do something, I'm going to do it. And I just hate that like companies would be like you said, entry level jobs, they want you to have like 4 or 5 years experience, and it's like, bro, I was in college.
Yeah, I'm like, well how?
Yeah, and then even the like the internships and stuff, like sometimes they want you to have experience before you get an internship, and it's like, how am I supposed to get an internship?
Yeah. So I think like there needs to be big changes. Like I feel like when like stuff like that starts to change, like people will like be like, oh, like I can stop working at like this entry level minimum wage job. Like I can like move up the career ladder and like stuff like that, and like it seems a little bit more obtainable.
And I would agree too. If you raise the minimum wage to $15 an hour, everything's going to. It's just maybe it'll be nice for a little bit, but then, for one, these restaurants are going to start charging more, so you'll be paying more for the food, and then the cost of other things are going to go up, and then $15 an hour is not going to be adequate enough. It's going to be just like it was when it was $7.40 or $9.30, whatever.
Like, yeah, I'm sure Meijer and like all of these like big franchise like fast food places and stuff can like afford to like pay their employees like a higher minimum wage and like not raise their prices to a point.
Yeah.
But
they're
like
greedy.
Yeah. But like the corner Coney Island or like the dive bar, like they can't afford that. Like, and so like I just feel like that's where you're gonna run into like people having to like raise their prices and stuff, because if it's like a minimum wage, like that is the minimum wage. You can't be like, oh, well, we're going to pay you lower than that. So, like, it just, like, fucks with all the, I don't know if
I've sworn already.
Like, it, like, fucks with all the small businesses, too.
And that's a good point, because let's say it wasn't even minimum wage, right? But let's say, like, McDonald's and all these, like, fast food industries that are franchises and have lots of money just said, yeah, even though it's not federal minimum wage, we're going to start at $15 an hour. Then who's going to want to go to the small, like, Coney Island? Like, because you can either go get minimum wage at a fast food place, make $15 an hour, or get paid, well, I think servers are like $2 or $3 plus tips, but it's like, well, I'll just go there. It's basically the same thing, and I get paid even more. So even if they didn't make it a federal mandate of minimum wage, even if like those companies raise their compensation, well, then you're fucking over the little guy.
Yeah.
So I think there's just a lot of different factors that could be bad, but I don't think those jobs warrant such high salaries.
And I think like a lot of people are just like, oh yeah, just raise minimum wage, like that will solve it all, like that's just like what you should do. But then they don't like think about it, like think about like the small business like that like can't afford that, or like, and like think about how it's gonna like affect like the cost of living and stuff like that. And like, yeah, it like sounds great, but like, why don't we, instead of raising minimum wage, make furthering education more accessible, or like stuff like that, and like make people like motivate people to like want to grow in their careers. Yeah.
And even within those like McDonald's, you can grow inside the company. Yeah. You don't have to work at the like fast food joint.
McDonald's, like they offer a lot of like incentives with like tuition and stuff like that. So like, I don't know, like there's like its benefits. I don't know.
If you're motivated, any job can serve you well. Yeah. But and that's the thing too, is I feel like lots of times people will complain about that. Either one, sometimes they're the people in unfortunate circumstances, and that's unfortunate, and I don't know how to solve it. But lots of times it's people who are fucking lazy and just oh, I want to make a living just doing this job because it's easy and it's accessible, which I don't really have pity for. Like, and the thing I see a lot on Twitter, and it's a shame I'm pulling all of these from Twitter. I should probably just stop going on Twitter. But it's like, you think that $9.50 or whatever minimum wage is enough to like live by yourself, like live on your own, and like it's like, here's the cost of like an average place for rent. Here's like your insurance. Here's this. It's like, yeah, but those jobs aren't meant to like
it is
provide for yourself,
like
let alone a family.
So like, I don't know, like that's the bottom. Like you're like supposed to grow, I would assume. Right?
Like, I wasn't looking for a place to live making minimum wage.
No.
Because I knew that minimum wage wasn't going to afford that.
And, like, there are the people, though, like, in those situations that, like, have to. But, like, it's tough. Like, there's no, like, easy right answer. Like, I feel like, because there are those people that, like, are going to have to, like, pay rent and pay childcare and, like, all these things. And, like, that's all that they can, like, do at that time is like work a minimum wage job, but I don't think it's supposed to be like forever.
Yeah, that's where and again, this might sound privileged, but I feel like in those circumstances, though, if they are a hard worker, there's ways to either climb the ladder at those places or find something else. I don't know. Maybe I'm that's my privilege talking, because I don't ever.
Yeah.
I don't know, but
no, I feel the same way. It's such like a tricky like topic to talk about, because you don't want to sound privileged, because like, I don't know, someone enlighten me, but like that is just my opinion. Like that is like what I've like from reading and then like creating like my opinion. That is what I've created. But if like you have a different like thought and like tell me about it, maybe it'll change my opinion.
Yeah, and that's the point.
And like I don't have like a closed mind about it. Like
yeah, no, I would agree. And I hate like getting so like weird to share my opinion, because the whole point of this podcast is to share my opinion based off of my knowledge, knowing that I'm not an expert, because I am by no means an expert really in anything, especially in like minimum wage and economics. So I mean, I could sound like a complete idiot, and if someone's gonna enlighten me, then I'll be better off for learning that. I've already learned lots of different things about shit that I was very ignorant on. So so yeah, don't feel bad to share your opinion. But yeah, I would say our opinion sounds pretty similar.
Yeah.
But okay. Oh, that's another thing I was gonna say too. On like related to this, because as a recent homeowner, much like yourself, I've been trying to do some renovations, and the price of fucking wood is outrageous. And it's not just wood; it's produce and it's gas, and I feel like there's a lot of inflation already happening, and what I blame, and I could be very wrong for that, is all of this unemployment that's just been adding up and adding up and adding up, because of at some point we're gonna have to pay for it in some way, and that's why I didn't take it. I'm like, I don't want to have to pay anything. I don't want to have to like suffer any consequences if I can afford not to. But in my opinion, I feel like shit's starting to gradually grow, like be more expensive, because there's more money being printed, and when there's more of something, it becomes less valuable, so the price is raised.
Yeah.
And I don't know, the reason I even put that on there is because when I was talking to a couple different people about like unemployment, they were like, well, we control like the money we print, why don't we just keep printing more if it's working? I'm like, because like that's just not how it works.
No.
Like, could we keep printing paper? Yes.
Yeah, but then it becomes like monopoly money at some point.
That's the thing. Like
it has no value.
We've all heard the stories of how like our grandpa could go to the movies for like a nickel and get an ice cream cone for like a penny, and that right there would probably cost me like $25-$30 right now.
Yeah, depends on the ice cream place
and the movie theater.
Yeah.
But point being, inflation's real, and I feel like even in the past, and it could fluctuate. Like maybe the gas prices will dip back down and wood will dip back down. But I mean, it's gone, like especially wood has like tripled.
Well, and it like all like affects the other thing. Like I've read, which I'm not an expert. Just gonna like pledge.
I'm just
that
gonna
I'm
make
not
that the
an
title of this podcast.
That's your new intro. Like
Yeah.
you have to make people pledge that they're not experts
Give like a warning before, like what's it called?
Like in Jackass when they're like these scenes.
Yeah,
blah, blah, blah.
exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you can when you start making money on this podcast.
Oh, I don't do ads, so I don't make money. I've actually lost money doing this podcast, but I do it for fun.
I said when you start.
I probably won't, because people don't want ads.
I mean, on Spotify, you can just like 15 seconds forward.
Yeah, I suppose. Like, I don't know.
Don't knock.
Because like,
don't knock until you try it. Don't knock making money until you're making.
I mean,
money.
it's so insignificant. Like, literally, Anchor gives you an ad, and I think it's like you get for every 1,000 streams you get $15, and it's like, for me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You gotta start somewhere though. We're talking about minimum wage.
Yeah, I guess.
Anyways,
well, if you start seeing ads, it's because of Darian, and that means I'll be making money. But I don't know that there'll be ads. Anyway, what were you saying?
I have no idea. Shit.
We're just gonna let it sit for a second.
What were we talking about?
You were saying. I was talking about the price of lumber going up.
Oh, that it all affects each other. Like, house prices are like going up because like lumber is going up. Like in like building a house currently is like so much more expensive than like before because obviously houses are built with lumber, and so like new build houses are expensive, and then like basically like people aren't building because it's so expensive to build, so then there's more people trying to buy. Like it just like all like meshes together.
Yep. And honestly, I mean, kind of related to what you're saying. I've seen a lot more of like those modular homes, like that don't have as much wood. It's like the shipping containers, usually it's the shipping containers, but they'll just build them that way because fucking wood is so expensive. And yeah, so that was just something that came to my mind when you were saying that. It didn't really have any purpose, but anyway, I kind of a complete pivot. This was something like I have like a list that when I first started this podcast of just I literally just Googled a bunch of like topics that people don't like to talk about, and one of them came up because like people can get heated like when talking about them, and one of them that I don't think was ever actually brought up on the podcast because a lot of episodes have had repetitive topics, which is fine because everyone has different perspectives. One of them is lying okay, and let's just dive right into it.
Sometimes.
Okay.
Is it a yes or no question?
No. Okay. It was more so like it could be a conversation starter.
Yeah. I would say sometimes. Like I think it is a case by case scenario. Depends on the lie. Like, because technically you could be like, oh, you lied to me and said you weren't having a birthday party for me, and then you surprised me with a birthday party. Like, in that situation, a lie is awesome. Like, surprise someone with a birthday, unless they, like, hate surprises or something. Like,
so you like surprises?
No. But, like, if someone, like, surprised me with a birthday party, I wouldn't be like, oh, my God, you lied to me. And, like, this is, like...
Yeah, I get what you're saying there.
So I think in, like, certain situations, and I mean that's like good extreme, and there's also bad extremes, but I don't know. So I feel like when people say it's, and this isn't my opinion one way or the other, this is how I'm framing it up. I feel like when people say like it's not okay to lie, it's because they like the understanding is eventually the lie will be found out and it'll be caught up to you. So that doesn't really answer the question, that idea of thinking of, is it okay to lie? It's more of like, are you scared to get caught if you lie? So if you were to lie and no one ever knew about the lie, is it okay? And so let's see if I can give you a scenario, because I know that's a very, very vague scenario. Let's see. I honestly should have came more prepared. Like, you know how sometimes like people like will lie to protect others, even though everyone's like, oh, you should have just told me. If they were never ever going to find out a lie that like would hurt them, is it okay to lie? I mean, it's always okay until like they find out.
So that brings it back to, you don't want to get caught, the lie.
Well, like I just mean like you think it's okay, and then if they ever find out, like, you think it's okay to lie to them, and then if they ever find out, you're like, oh, shit. I guess. I don't know, because, like, I'm just thinking about, like, in my life, like, my parents have, like, kept things from me to, like, protect me. Like, oh, like, you don't really need to know, like, everything's fine. And then, like, I find out that everything was not fine.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's just like, well, you guys lied to me, and, like, I would just rather know. So I guess, like, in that, like, I just think that it's, like, a person-by-person, case-by-case, like, thing.
Okay.
I don't know if that really answers your question.
No, I mean,
like, circles back to what you said.
No, I mean, I don't really have a strong opinion one way or the other. Like, obviously, I feel like when you can be honest, it's best to be honest.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah.
But, like...
When, like, personally, like, my consciousness... That word. My conscious...
Yeah.
I feel like I'm saying that wrong. Like, I cannot... Like, I will feel so guilty.
Yeah, but not all lies are bad, though. Like, I feel like anytime somebody says lie, the connotation instantly is like, oh, shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's bad.
Yeah.
I don't know, and I can't think of any examples right now, but I don't know that every lie is a bad lie. You know, like, for example, let's say, and this is something that doesn't even need to be said, but, like, if, let's say I saw somebody and, like, I didn't like their shoes. I said, oh, that's a nice shoe. It's not a bad lie.
No.
But, you know, that's a very insignificant example.
Yeah.
But I don't think every single lie is bad.
No.
Or, like, okay. I'm trying to think of different scenarios where, like, you'd be protecting somebody, and if they never found out, it wouldn't really affect them. Let's see. Let's say... Okay. Let's say I had a friend, right? So let's say somebody I went to school with when we were in, like, 8th grade or whatever. We were close friends, and they moved away, and we just haven't talked ever. If they died and somebody knew and, like, never told me, so it never really affected me.
But are they really lying about it?
No, like, let's say, like, it came up and, like, have you talked to them? No, I haven't talked to them.
But they're dead? Jesus.
But, like, I didn't know if that would hurt you or not. But then, like, you never find out that, like, until, like, maybe you're, like, 70 or 80, that they're dead. Like, is that going to affect you? I don't know. I can't think of a good example. I just feel like if you're doing it to protect somebody and, like, again, you'll never know if they'll never find out because either they will or they never will.
Yeah. I mean, I guess, like, which, like, this probably isn't going to, like, help this discussion at all. Like,
I don't know that there's, like, an answer to this discussion.
Yeah, but, like, going back to, like, my parents, like, telling me, oh, everything's fine, blah, 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 like, and then, like, I find out that everything was not fine, which, like, yeah, like, I would want to know, but, like, I guess, like, where was I going with this? Oh, like, my whole thing with it was, like, I don't want to be blindsided. So, like, I want to know everything that happens so that when, like, something really bad happens, like, I'm not blindsided. So I can, like, kind of, like, prepare myself for the worst, I guess. And, like, I'm being vague. I'm sorry.
No, you're okay.
But, like, if that blindsided thing never happened, like, I really don't need to, like, know. Like, they can, you know what I mean? So, like,
yeah, but also, like, the first time that you would have been, let's say they told everything from the get-go, the very first time would have been kind of a blindside, right?
Yeah, but, I mean, yeah, I guess.
See, that's the thing. I feel like when somebody finds out, like, somebody was lying, it's like, I'd have been pissed whether you told me from the beginning or you told me now.
Yeah.
But, like, the thing to do is complain now because now I gotta deal with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I mean, for example, I've been lied to several times. I get more pissed off if, like, I get pissed off whether you tell me up front or not. I get more pissed off if it's escalated to something worse because you didn't tell me.
I just like to know things from the get-go. Like, I, like, have been lied to and, like, thought everything is, like, okay in a group of friends, and, like, they were, like, talking behind my back, and, like, someone knew they were talking behind my back but didn't tell me. And, like, so, like, I guess they're lying because, like, to me, because they're not telling me that people are talking behind my back. And, like, I just like to know things from the get-go so that, like, I can act accordingly, I guess. Because, like, if someone's talking crap about me and, like, I don't know about it, and then I'm going around them and, like, thinking that they're, like, true good friends, and then, like, but really they have, like, this, like, thought of me, like, I don't want to surround myself with those people. But, like, if someone's, like, lying and not telling me that, like, they know that this happened, does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm following.
So, like, I just, like to know things from the get-go so that, like, I'm not, like, all, like, happy and, like, around these people or whatever. Like, I would just, like, not want to be around them.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I get that. I feel like I'm trying to relate it to something. I guess I'll be vague. I'll be kind of vague here.
We're both just being so vague because we don't want to tell specific stories about people lying to us.
See, I don't mind I just don't want to. I just don't want to give names.
Yeah, exactly.
Regardless, like, so I was lied to, and I was told about it pretty like upfront.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't cut this person who lied to me off because I, care for them.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, well, we can work through it.
Mm-hmm.
But having known that lie, well, now I feel like at the time, like looking back on it, I feel like I was worse off even knowing the lie at that time because, I mean, granted, retrospect's always 2020. I would have changed how I would have reacted to the lie.
Yeah.
But even though I was like, okay, well, now I know. Thank you for telling me. I'm gonna try to work through it. It was always in the back of my head, like, all that happened. Mm-hmm. So, like, now that's all I'm thinking about. As where, let's say, because I got lied to again the second time. And let's say the second time would have been the first time I heard about it. And, like, it still would have been going on behind the scenes. Well, then I would have only been like, all right, well, all this was happening. And now I only have to be pissed about it once. But because it happened twice. And I guess that kind of leads to, well, if somebody's lying once, they're probably going to keep lying.
But I feel like... if it's happening for a second time, you're going to, like, evaluate that friendship more. Whereas, like, if you're, like, hearing about it all at once, you might just be like, oh, whatever, like, it happened one time. But, like, if this is, like, a repeating thing in, like, a relationship, you're going to be like, do I want to be spending my time with, like, this person that's going to be lying to me, like, over and over again? Yeah,
so let's see if I can convey it in a different way. Because I see what you're saying, and I would agree. If it was like the same initial thing that pissed me off the second time, I would just respond at the same time I did the first time, right? But like the second time it happened, if I would have known all of the history, like from the first time and the second time, I think I would have reacted the same way. I think I would be like, cut it off, whatever. But I wouldn't have had to deal with all of the like anxiety in my mind throughout knowing between the first and second time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Does that make any sense?
Yeah. No, it does. But I think that, like, that's just life.
Yeah.
And, like, I don't know, like, would you rather wait till you're, like, 90 years old and someone, like, comes to your door and it's just like, here's all the shit we kept from you your whole life so you were happy. And, like, then you're just like, oh my God, I, like, lived this, like, which this is, like, completely, like, hypothetical. Yeah. But, like, you live this life of just being so, like, naive and, like, thinking that, like, everything was so great and, like, when in reality, like, it wasn't. I don't know, like, wouldn't you want to, like, know these things so that you can, like, surround yourself with, like, people who, like, I don't know, like, to be, like, truly happy and not just, like, this, like, because, like, yeah, it gave you anxiety, but, like, now you know.
See, but, so, I'm split again, because in that scenario, I think let's say I was, people didn't tell me anything until I was, like, 90 to keep me happy. Well, in those moments, I would have been truly happy, because I would have felt truly happy. So I would have, I mean, to be honest with you, I guess you can't really know unless you're in that scenario, but, like, I would think that I would be like, oh, okay, whatever. But, hearing you talk through that made me kind of realize, usually, like, dealing with the downfall of a lie is, like, where you can, like, learn and grow from it. Mm-hmm. So, like, could a lie protect your happiness? Yeah, it could. But you're also not getting the growth and the lesson learned from that lie, I suppose.
Yeah, and I think that, like, that, like, goes back to, like, yeah, you were happy those 90 years, but, like, if, like, you lived this life of just, like, no one like you not knowing anything or whatever. But like I think that like life is like, this is gonna sound like so like cliche, but like it's like a role, like I think like when you're like sad, it like makes like the happier times like more happy.
Yeah.
And like just like makes you like grow and like all of that stuff. So like I think that like it makes like everything like more intense, like sweeter. I don't know, like that sounds stupid, but
no, I mean that's the yin and the yang of life.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. So like if it's just like all like the white side, like I don't know, doesn't like seem as like bright. Yeah. Wow, I hate that.
No, but I mean, I hear what you're saying, and I would say I still probably agree with you. Like the majority of the time, I think it's probably best to just not lie.
Yeah.
If someone's lying to me.
But like saying like, oh, I like your shoes and you don't like them,
no,
like that's not
that was
hurting
a bad example.
anyone.
Yeah.
But like when it comes to like the big stuff, like I would rather know. Like I would rather someone be upfront with me.
Yeah, I don't know, because I feel like if I had like a friend who like didn't really like me like too much, but like we would hang out, and like when we hung out, if I was having fun, I don't really need to know that they don't like me because I have fun when we hang out. Like for me, I feel like I don't really care. Like I guess it depends on the person too, because like if like Wes or like one of my good friends were like, yo, I don't like you, I'd be like, what? Like that shit would hurt. But if it's like one of those like friends,
I lied to you my whole life.
Yeah. But if it's like one of those friends like you go to a party because like they're fun to hang out with like at parties, and they told me they didn't like me, I'd be like, I'd rather just not know because we have fun doing what we're doing.
Yeah, I can see that.
So I guess for me,
it's so case by case.
Yeah. So I would say my conclusion of this conversation would be like, generally don't.
Yeah.
But if I was being lied to and like I didn't have to know, case by case, depending on the person, it's okay to lie to me. Sometimes. So use that with caution and respect. I don't want everybody to start lying to me.
Don't lie to me ever. Please.
Okay, well, there's our preferences. And I might regret. I don't even know. All right, we'll fucking just. Well, yeah, we'll leave it there. I guess we have a quick couple seconds or minutes before we get to your mental health tip. I would like to, I guess, kind of. We were talking before the podcast about different like speakeasies and stuff. So just for the people who are still hanging on, listening, I just name a couple, just for fun, because I always like to support some small businesses and they're cool spots too. So you were saying the one in Eastern Market.
Yeah, so those aren't speakeasies; those are just like bars.
Oh, well, they're like small and like hidden, right?
Yeah, I guess like more, just like not divey, but just like not like everyone knows about them, I guess. But,
okay.
There's Collect in Eastern Market like area. That's been a really like fun one to go to. You can bring your dog. You can bring some food. By
Sapino's Pizza.
Yeah.
Good pizza.
Sapino's.
I know.
Oh. And then, just like Eastern Market Brewing Company is like a fun one too. I like right now because of like COVID, they have like the street shut down behind it. Yeah. So there's like lots more space, which is nice, and that one you can bring food to too. So. And
that one, when I went, there was a food truck that had pizza, and their pizza wasn't Sapino's, but it was pretty damn good. But Sapino's wasn't far from there, so yeah, just get Sapino's.
But I feel like those like lately when we've been going downtown, like we've been like, oh, let's go there, because like I feel like every time we go there, it's just like quaint. Like it's not like I don't know. You can just like go there and not have to worry.
Worry about what?
Like, I don't know. It's not like going to like this big bar where there's like lots of people.
It's a little bit more
and
like
you're,
calm.
Yeah, like it's like divey without being divey.
Okay, so I've been to Eastern Market. Have not been to the Collect, so I'll have to try that. But I was telling you about this one in Ferndale that I haven't been to, but I live right by. I need to go. It's called the Art Novelty Company. I won't give too much details because I haven't been there, but it looks like a art company, like a gallery. Like a gallery. And apparently they have really cool drinks and it's dark inside. But another thing that kind of confuses me is like my understanding of a speakeasy is like you gotta like look for that shit because it's hard to find. Like it's like in a bathroom, like extra hallway door or like an alleyway. But like I feel like people will tell me about speakeasies, or like even if you like Google speakeasies in like Metro Detroit.
Yeah.
It'll show you some. It's like that's just a bar. Like have you been to the Standby in the belt.
Oh, yeah.
That's considered a speakeasy.
Wait, Standby. Is that the one that's like downstairs with like all the... Okay.
That's with the neon?
Ooh.
That's
Place gives me
that's Deluxe Flux.
Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't huge on Deluxe Flux.
I went there like once and I was like, get me out of this hellhole.
Yeah,
Wait, where's... I've like heard the name.
So you know like the part... It's called the belt.
Yeah.
And it has like the skip. It's like the outdoor bar. Well, right next to the skip, like right on the outside of like... Right in the beginning of the alleyway.
Yeah.
There is the Standby. It's got like there's like a little mural of like a guy with glasses like on the wall. And you go in, it's just a small bar. They have really good drinks, but it's like... To me, it's not a speakeasy, but it's good.
I mean, like, I think, like, that's one cool thing about Detroit is, like, not necessarily, like, speakeasies, but there's, like, lots of, like, cool little, like, unique bars. Like, have you been to, I think it's called, like, the Candy Bar. It's, like, in the Siren Hotel.
Oh, I've heard of that. No,
So
I have not
cool.
been there.
It's, like, literally just, like, this small little, like, hotel bar, but everything's, like, pink velvet.
Yeah.
And just, like, really cool drinks. And, like, they have, like, this ginormous disco ball. Like, the room probably fits, like, 30 people. But, like, you walk into, like, the hotel lobby and, like, there's just, like, this velvet curtain. And, like, there's, like, a girl standing in front of it. Or, like, the hostess. And, like, you get seated. But, like, it's, like, so tiny. But it's just, like, a very cool vibe.
Yeah, there's a lot of really cool, like... unique spots, and I don't know if they're speakeasies or not, but
yeah,
I guess the moral of the story would be to go support a local business and check it out because they always have like the best drinks. They're usually pretty expensive drinks, but I mean,
well, it's like, have you been to the place in like downtown Plymouth that's like considered a speakeasy? It's called like the Ebenezer.
I don't think so.
It's like below, you know, like the Coney Island in downtown Plymouth.
Zach's?
No, like the one in like downtown. That's like on the corner. It's like Greek Islands. It's like across the street from Kilman's.
I can't even think of what you're talking about.
Okay, so like the street that the Post is on.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's like Kilman's at the corner, and then across from that is like Coney Island. It's like pretty big.
That's news to me.
Okay, well it's below that.
Huh.
But it's like a speakeasy, but like the drinks are so expensive and they're like
$20 a drink or like 18 bucks a drink.
But they're like not like if a drink is $20, better get me drunk.
Yeah.
And
that's the thing, they're always like small and like have like a half ounce of alcohol. It's like,
and like I like understand it's like because of the atmosphere, but like come on now.
Yeah. I'll usually go to speakeasy for like a drink.
Yeah.
And then I'll go to like some shit bar and you know, I'll do my business there. But anyway, I always like to end these with a mental health tip. Anything that you do to help you either prioritize your mental health, keep good mental health, or if you're having a bad day, kind of remedy that bad day. So what would you say your mental health tip would be?
My mind like instantly goes to like crafting.
Okay.
Like just because like when I'm like doing something like not necessarily like work or like side work crafting, but if I can, like, sit down and, like, do something that's, like, for me or, like, doesn't have, like, a purpose and, like, get lost in it. Like, during, like, quarantine, I got really into, like, cross-stitching and just, like, getting lost in something like that where, like, you're just not even thinking. Like, that, to me, like, helps with my mental health a lot. Just, like, because I feel like my mind is, like, always running. So, like, if I can just, like... calm my mind, and like usually it's doing something like that,
like artistic, where like you're not thinking but kind of like like autopilot almost because you're thinking. I haven't tried cross stitching.
It's fun. I even got
is that like where you have like a circle thing? Okay, I've seen some cool patterns from that.
We were like during quarantine going at it with cross stitching. We were like 80-year-old grandparents.
Do they like what do you do with like a cross stitching once it's done? Just hang it on the wall, or
you can like frame it, or like I think like you can like technically like make it into like pillows and like stuff like that. But like we would just like frame it or just hang the hoop on the wall, or it just sits there and does nothing. Okay.
We might have to do a part 2 of just all the hobbies you might have picked up over quarantine because I feel like you probably have a lot. But I will maybe have to try cross-stitching. I like to be creative too, but I haven't done cross-stitching.
Yeah, I think that like getting creative really helps with mental health. Just like opens up a part of your brain that you don't really use every day.
Yeah, for sure. And it's it's a fun part of your brain too.
Yeah.
Like you're exercising your brain, but it's like
yeah, and I mean like art therapy, like it all just
yeah, and not having expectations like you said, or like just like for free.
Yeah, because like I mean like I do creative stuff for my career, so like that to me can be stressful. But like if I'm doing something that like, oh, there's no deadline, oh, there's no like no one telling me that this needs to look like this, like that to me is like what it needs to be to like be beneficial to my mental health.
It makes sense. I dig that. All right, good tip.
Yeah, thank you.
Darian, thank you again for coming on. If you'd like to be, here's the other awkward part is the outro, so bear with me. If you'd like to be a guest on this podcast, please let me know. The Facebook and Instagram is TIMM Podcast. If you have my phone number, you can text me. I'm not going to put it on here, even though I'm pretty sure anyone who'd be listening probably has it. Or to just get a hold of me, come knock on my door. And do you have like any like art or anything you want to promote? Or, like, do you have like an art page or anything like that?
No.
Oh, okay.
If you want some graphic design, hit me up.
Yeah.
It's all just word of mouth.
She'll be tagged in the posts when I promote this podcast, so check out her art because it's pretty cool.
Thank you.
Thanks again. Until next week, guys. See you later.